Guys, this is the Guppy Geek, and today I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to complete a water change. In order to complete a water change, you will need a siphon to help suck the water out of your tank, an algae brush to scrub the algae off your tank walls, some aquarium gloves to help you reach things that are far down in the tank, some aquarium scissors to trim your live plants if you have any, types of tweezers. I like to use two, one with a bent edge to help reach mostly unreachable areas, and some normal tweezers. A substrate spatula to help move the gravel back into place after you have done the water change. Some dechlorinator. Some new filter media. Other chemicals such as Safe Start Plus, cleaning bacteria, correct pH, and Easy Balance. These are all Tetra because I really like the Tetra brand, and I feel that they have the best care guides and instructions and products, so I really like to use their products. 2 or 3 towels to put down in your workspace. Some disposable gloves. I like to use vinyl gloves because they don't have any allergen substances like latex. Some aquarium plant food for your live plants if you have any. A bucket with a scooper that you can take water from your bucket into your tank with. And, most importantly, a good source of water. So you have all the supplies you need. It's time to start setting up for your water change. Okay, so step 1 in setting up your water change station is you lay down your towels in the spots that you need them. I like to put one in front of the tank stand right here, and put one off to the side to put hoods and things down. And I like to have a tall spot. I like to use a chair, and then I have a towel on that. So this is what it looks like after you have your towels laid down. Okay, so the next step in the process is to get your bucket and siphon and clip this end into the bucket clip right here and put it on your tall surface. If your siphon doesn't reach from the floor to the top of your tank like mine, because mine is so tall. And then you can just hang the suction end in your bucket for now. And then the next step would be to remove all the things covering your tank. Okay, for this step, you're going to need to put your gloves on, because we're going to be taking the hood off and all the other appliances. Okay, so now is the time when you unplug your lights, your heater, and your filter, and also your feeder if you have one. You can take that off as directed by the manufacturer. You can put that off to the side, like here. Okay, so then you take the plug for your aquarium lights and sure you get the end. And then you take the lid off. Make sure to flip it upside down so that not much water drips. It still may drip a little bit. And then you put it on this towel that's off to the side. Okay, so then the next step is to siphon your water. So you start by moving it up and down in your aquarium water. Be wary of your aquatic animals' locations so that you don't suck them up accidentally, because that is a very common mistake when you're siphoning your water. And this step takes a little while. And then once you see water dripping in your bucket, then you can start siphoning. Okay, so once you're done siphoning out at least like 15 to 20% of your water, then you can go dump it outside in the grass or in a garden or something else. But beware, it might kill the plants that are in that area because of all the chemicals and fish poop and everything else in the tank water. Okay, so now we're outside and you take your water and make sure you get all of it. You kind of shake it and then you dump it out like that. Okay, so now you take your bucket to your source of water and you fill it up. A little note, I like to have these temperature gauges on my buckets so that I can get the temperature of the water that I'm putting in the tank at least virtually the same as what is in my tank. Okay, so you fill it up. And be mindful of the temperature of the water as you fill it. You can feel the water with your hand too. Okay, so I got the temperature of the water to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 27 to 28 degrees Celsius. And so now I'll take this to my tank to dechlorinate it. Okay, so again, you're going to need gloves for this. And for dechlorination, you can let your water stand for 24 to 48 hours, but that takes a long time. So in this situation, I'm going to use AquaSafe Plus, which treats 2 times the water as compared to AquaSafe. So shake it up to activate it, and then this is about 1/3 of the tank, which is like 3.5 gallons. So we'll fill the cup up halfway, which is about 5 milliliters. And put that in. And with AquaSafe, there's no need to stir or let sit or anything like that. It's automatic, and so the water's already dechlorinated now. So this is where the little scooper comes in. There are some devices called pythons where you can suck the water into the tank, but I am not fortunate enough to have purchased a device like that, so I'm just going to do it the regular old-fashioned way. Okay, so the next step is to clean your filter, clean the outflow, because mine really gets a lot of algae on it after a while. So for that, I'm going to take a little tissue, and I'm just going to rub the outflow and get all the gunk off. And try not to get the tissue in your tank too much. I mean, it's fine if it does, but probably isn't the best. Okay, so then get a new set of filter media. Mine, again, is Tetra, so I'll use the Tetra filter media. And then since this one has carbon in it, we're going to have to go rinse out the excess that's stuck onto it, as you can see. So I'll meet you in the bathroom. Okay, so here you can just get a little bit of water and just lightly rinse out the filter media. And once the water gets clear, then you can put it in your filter. Try and get all that carbon down the drain. So that looks pretty clear now, so let's go put it in the filter. Okay, so take your newly rinsed filter media and put it in the place of the old filter media. Now, after a month, your filter media will probably look a lot like this. Very brown. Might have some stuff stuck to the outside because of how the water runs through it and all that debris has to get through. So that's the purpose of the floss on the outside, so it can catch physical debris. This specific filter media, the reason the carbon is in there is because it provides chemical filtration for your tank. And so that helps cleanse out the nitrates and the nitrites and all that stuff. And then there's another kind of filter media in here that I don't need to change quite yet because it's not too dirty. Is this sponge kind of like media. And this is where all the aerobic bacteria grows to help stabilize your nitrites and ammonia and things like that. So that provides biological filtration. And if this gets like a bunch of algae and stuff on it, you might need to change it. And also a little disclaimer about cleaning the filters. It's good to clean the inside of your filter like every 6 months, like the impeller and the tubes that go up to the box where you put the filter media, so that all the debris will be cleaned out of there. But it hasn't been 6 months for me yet, so I'll probably do another video on how to do that. Okay, so the next step is to get your chemicals, your stabilizing chemicals that I mentioned earlier, and so each with the amount on the bottle. So these chemicals are mainly just to stabilize the balance in your tank. And it says on the bottles to use them monthly. The chemicals that you use might say different. But Tetra advises to stabilize everything when you do your monthly water change. Okay, so after you've done that, then you get your hood and put it back on. And plug it in again. Okay, so then you can take your gloves off, and then you plug in the rest of your aquarium appliances. Okay, and then the next step is to maintain your plants. But we'll have to wait for all this to clear up from all of the chemicals. So the next step is going to be fixing your plants and putting them where you want them. So for this, we're going to need our aquascaping tools. So specifically, I'm going to want my tweezers and my aquarium scissors. So my plants are all over the tank right now, so I'm going to need to move them back into this little corner that I made just for my floating hornwort. There's a little over here too. So basically, just for this step, just fix your plants and do whatever you need and basically make your tank look nice. Okay, so now that I've removed all the dead plant debris and put in my plant fertilizer, I'm going to take an algae brush and scrub the front glass of the tank. So don't scrub too close to the bottom because you might disturb the substrate and scratch the glass, etc. Just get the big clusters of algae on the front that are ruining your perfect view of your fish tank. And you can get the sides too if you want. And there you go. If you need, you can take your aquarium gloves and mess around with the stuff inside your tank. But for now, I don't really need to do that. So I'm going to plug in my feeder and my other appliances. Make sure that's secure. Make sure all your plugs and cords are routed correctly. And you can plug in your feeder here. And then you're done. You finish your water change, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Rinse out your siphon, rinse out your algae brush, rinse out your aquascaping tools so that they'll be ready for the next time you need to do a water change. And also after water change, it's normal for fish to act a little strange because remember, they're getting used to the new water that you put in the tank, and it'll be a little bit of a shock to them if you change too much. So about like a day after the water change, just expect a little bit of abnormality, and then after that they should be fine. This is the Guppy Geek. Guppy Geek out.